December 8th, 2023, Orlando, Florida. It's a city so bright and beautiful, its motto is unbelievably real. Hot sun, cool waters, and a miles-long stretch of 4-star resorts make Orlando the perfect vacation destination, even in chilly December. Located just 2 miles from the happiest place on earth, the luxurious Waldorf Astoria Hotel is one of Orlando's most highly rated resorts. Even locals check in by the iconic lobby clock when they need a weekend getaway, a short escape from reality. Less than a month before Christmas in 2023, 26-year-old Tampa native Alana Miccolis and her on-again, off-again girlfriend, Megha Saluja, have just that idea in mind. But for one of the women, the elevator ride up to her 14th floor suite would be her last chance at any real escape. This is the story of Alana Miccolis, a marine biologist with dreams of saving the ocean, a daughter who loved her family, a sister who sang cover songs with her sibling, a light that was stolen far too soon, and this is the story of Megha Saluja, a woman who couldn't let go, who sent text after text begging, who offered $10,000 to keep someone in her grasp, who wrapped a gun in a towel and made a 911 call that would unravel with every question detectives asked. What happened in room 1409 of the Waldorf Astoria Orlando? Was it suicide or was it murder? The answers would...
Hello, oh my god, my partner just shot herself in the head.
What's the address?
I'm at the Waldorf Astoria, Orlando. Oh my god.
The 911 call comes in at 1:04 p.m., and Orange County Police dispatch to the scene immediately.
She's making a lot of noise right now. I don't know what to do. She's breathing really heavy.
She's still alive. We can't. You said she's 26?
Yes, there's so much.
Okay. You said she's making noise right now. Is she awake? Is she breathing? Is she moving on her own?
Through evidence, through interrogation, through a grand jury, through justice. To understand what happened on December 8th, 2023, we have to go back to the University of Central Florida, back to when Alana Miccolis and Megha Saluja first met. It was during those turbulent college years that their romantic relationship began. Alana was a lover of life, on land and under the sea. She was majoring in biology with a minor in environmental studies. The ocean was her classroom, and soon it would be her career. Alana dreamt of saving the rapidly deteriorating coral reefs. She believed there was hope to restore them, and she dedicated her life to the research and work to make it possible. After graduating from the University of Central Florida with her Bachelor of Science degree, Alana went on to earn a master's in marine science from Unity Environmental University. She volunteered at the Florida Aquarium's Center for Conservation, working in the Coral Conservation Program. Her primary duties were in the induced spawning laboratory, with Acropora cervicornis and Acropora palmata, assisting in coral care and maintaining life support systems. She also worked in the coral greenhouse nurseries, including microscope cleaning of coral fragments. She had previous intern and volunteer experience in marine animal husbandry at Frost Science and the Marine Science Center. She was a research fellow with the Crocodile Research Coalition, where she gained experience in remote drone surveying and observing camera trap footage of manatees and crocodiles in wildlife sanctuaries. Her sister Charlene would later say that Alana's biggest dream was to find a way to save the ocean by protecting reefs and coral restoration. Alana loved the ocean. She loved music. She loved exploring the outdoors. She loved everyone she met. She was such a bright light, and she would be missed by all who knew her. But back in college, while Alana was focused on her studies and her passion for marine biology, she also found herself in a relationship with Megha Saluja. Megha Saluja was attending the University of Central Florida at the same time. She was studying public health, The two had different career goals, but one common interest: each other, at least for a while. Their relationship was complicated, to say the least. Megha would later describe it to police like this: "We've been kind of together loosely for like 5.5 years. She has been unhappy more of the time than not. I have wanted to keep it going more. She's wanted to end it more." The women argued, broke up, got back together, and so went the cycle, for years. Alana was ready to shed the relationship she described as fake and unfair. That autumn, she called it off with Megha for good this time. But Megha appeared desperate to keep Alana in her grasp, especially when she learned Alana was pursuing other relationships. Megha would later tell police, "I think a lot of it was how I behaved when we were younger. So the last 2-3 years, I've just been constantly putting in effort to be better." To convince Alana to stick around, Megha said she would make a contract that bound Alana to her for the next several weeks. But it would also include a date to end the romantic aspect of their relationship. Alana was hesitant. Megha's messages from the month before the shooting read as intense, even bordering on obsessive. She sent Alana text after text, begging her not to go on any dates with anyone else. Over days and weeks, Megha vacillated between desperation and negotiation. She told Alana she would do anything to maintain a relationship with her, like buying extravagant gifts and starting couples counseling. In one message, Megha even offered to pay Alana $10,000, all for Alana to stay committed to her. Their messages revealed that Alana wanted Megha to get help, but Megha was the one who insisted on going to counseling. Alana suspected that the counseling wasn't for healing, but was yet another ploy to get her to stick around. Eventually, Alana agreed to at least one of Megha's requests. One final trip together. Just a couple of weeks before Alana's 27th birthday, Alana told her dad, Charles, that she would be spending a few days in Orlando, and he could expect to see her back home on Friday, December 8th. Megha would later explain to police, "That was basically the gist of why we're here. This was supposed to be our last big celebration together in a romantic relationship. And so I was like, okay, cool, we can make our way into being friends." They decided on the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in Orlando, the city where Megha had promised to move after their official breakup. She poured her heart out to Alana in a long letter scrolled on notebook paper. Was it a love letter or a final farewell? It's hard to tell. Investigators would later photograph the letter as evidence. On December 6, 2023, Alana Miccolis and Megha Saluja checked into the Waldorf Astoria Orlando, room 1409. They planned to check out on December 8th, 2023. Started like any other morning for the couple. It is believed that Alana and Megha ate breakfast together at the hotel restaurant. Then they returned to their room to pack up their belongings before checkout, which had been extended to 1 p.m. On that final day of their trip together, Alana sends a message to her father. She tells him she'll be home from Orlando earlier than expected, with so much to look forward to, and her dad patiently waiting for her to arrive home that afternoon, taking her own life, just didn't seem like something Alana would try to do. Not to her family, and not to investigators. Megha would later tell police, "We literally got really emotional and we were like, I love you so much. I'm so sorry that all of this has happened. We just were saying, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then crying. And that was supposed to be it." Megha got the closure she wanted, and Alana held firm. The couple would not be staying together. On December 8th, 2023, their romantic relationship would finally be over. With this chapter finally closed, the world was as close to Alana's fingertips as she kept her toes to the tide, until the gun went off. The 911 call comes in at 10:04 p.m. Orange County Police dispatched to the scene immediately. "Oh my God, my partner just shot herself in the head. What's the address? I'm at the Waldorf Astoria. Oh my God." The caller is frantic. She says her partner is 26 years old. She says she's making noise. She says she doesn't know what to do. We're going to get somebody there as quick as we can, the dispatcher assures her. Officers arrive just behind a team of paramedics. Because the victim is still breathing, they're hopeful she may miraculously survive. Once inside room 1409, they see her, 26-year-old Alana Miccolis. The scene tells paramedics the head wound was catastrophic. The sheets, once crisp and white, are stained red. The headboard and nightstand are both splattered with blood. Investigators place small yellow evidence markers on the carpet beside what looks like chunks of human flesh, just steps away from a brass bullet casing. While paramedics place Alana onto the stretcher for transport to the hospital, law enforcement split up to comb through the room and get a statement from their only witness, the 911 caller, the woman who identifies herself as Alana's on-again, off-again, but mostly on girlfriend, Megha Saluja. When they pull her aside, Megha tells officers a version of the same story she told the dispatcher, that she walked out of the bathroom to see Alana shoot herself in the head with a handgun. A handgun Megha had packed. The gun that was used, it belongs to you? An officer asks. Anytime I bring it anywhere, I have a safe. So it goes in the safe, locked, with the keys on my keys. So you have a safe with you? Yeah, I keep it in my bag. I don't have a concealed carry, so I keep it locked in the safe. And when I go to hotels, I bring it and I leave it just in my bag. And you said that it takes a key to get into the safe? Yes. When officers begin sorting through the evidence, they find the towel the gun was apparently wrapped in, Megha's car keys with the keys to the safe, and the bag where the gun was found. They're not so sure they're looking at a suicide after all. Megha's overnight bag with the gun safe inside might be the biggest indicator that something about the scene isn't quite right. Investigators find the safe near the bottom of the bag with clothing thrown over the top, as if someone may have been trying to hide it. By the time Megha arrives at the hospital where Alana is transported, Orange County investigators are already there waiting for her. Who is the young lady to you? A detective asks. She's kind of my partner. Not fully. Relationship is kind of complicated. Kind of like on and off type of thing, I guess. Not too many offs, but we were basically preparing to become friends. So tell me a little bit about what happened. If you can take your time, I understand it's an emotional thing. Megha pauses. I just still feel like I haven't cried since it happened. I just still feel shocked. It's traumatic, I understand. It is a little bit of a blur, but I just remember I was in the bathroom. I came out. She was holding a towel or something, and I just remember running over. And I saw her fall. Blood. I grabbed the towel. I unwrapped it or whatever. I don't know. I just grabbed it. There was a gun. There was something that fell on the floor that looked brown or orange, and then there was something on the pillow that was silver, like hair on it. Was there any arguments or disagreements before that? The detective asks. No. We were not even. There was no disagreement at all. We were just talking. We were a little bit emotional. This was supposed to be our last trip before we break up and try to be friends. We were talking about couples counseling. I had some people pulled up on my phone. We were looking to call. When were you all supposed to check out? Today. Clothes folded. Phones charged. Bed made. Then 1 hour before checkout, and before the couple's relationship was apparently coming to an end, the gun went off. Megha tells officers she was so distraught by what happened that she contemplated taking her own life too, something she had apparently considered many times before. I was just like, should I go next? I don't know. When I was in college, I struggled with suicidal ideation, so that's something I would do in college, just to feel better. But investigators are less concerned with Megha's mental health history and more concerned with inconsistencies in her story. Now, what kind of history did your partner have? Was she depressed? What would make her do this, is what I'm asking. Megha responds carefully. I don't know if this is a red flag or not, but I struggled with suicidal ideation in college. She always talked about it in a way that was, oh, who would ever do that? Stuff like that, which I look back at now. I'm like, was that a red flag? Have you heard her talking about suicide or death or anything like that? One thing that happened in college, she was really afraid of death. The idea of death freaked her out, stressed her out. When it comes up, she just kind of looks tense and overwhelmed, and is like, I don't know, anybody would do that. That's pathetic. So she talked against doing it? Yeah. The detective pauses. This doesn't add up. Megha has admittedly struggled with suicidal ideation for years, but for Alana, taking her own life has never been an option, not even in her darkest time. What do you mean by she lost her best friend? The detective asks. Her mom, Megha says. Her best friend. She had to turn down a job offer in Miami to move back home to Tampa to take care of her mom. She was her mom's full-time caretaker for years, and I think maybe 2 years, and so that was really hard. Alana's tight-knit family suffered a devastating loss in 2021 when her mom died of cancer, but neither her mom's illness nor her death pulled Alana away from her loved ones. If anything, their shared heartache brought them closer. Following her mom's passing, Alana lived at home with her dad. She cooked meals, played with the dog, enjoyed spending time with him. Her older sister, who she called Carly or Sissy, shared photos and videos of the two of them singing cover songs and laughing to TikTok trends. Alana also leaned on her longtime girlfriend, as one so often does after immense loss. Megha continues. She had to drop everything to go take care of her. She told me today she was like, I don't think I could have done any of that without you. That's how we feel about each other. But then the fact that she was going to go on a date with someone else. The detective interrupts. I just want to stay kind of on where we're at. Where you came out of the bathroom. You saw the towel. And again, I was just trying to clarify or understand why that was a trigger for you to go at her, like run toward her, or freak out, just seeing a towel. Because that's not something that most people in a normal setting would see, a towel on her head or near her head. I don't automatically think something's going to happen bad. Megha stumbles over her words. I don't know, so I think it was just that it was weird, and we were so emotional, and I've been worried. I think it was just that worry and that fear. Was she saying anything at all when you walked out? Did she say anything beforehand? No. We literally said our most tender, I love you, on the bed. And then I went to the bathroom. How long were you in there before you came out? Couldn't have been very long. Maybe like a minute, 2 minutes. I don't know. But that's why I'm like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to investigators either. For starters, 2 minutes doesn't seem like enough time for Alana to find the keys, unlock the safe, wrap the gun in a towel, and make the rash decision to pull the trigger. And there are other questions, like why wrap the gun in a towel at all? So the gun you were saying was in a towel. She had it in a towel? Or did she have the towel with the gun? The detective asks. I think I saw a hole in the towel. So I don't know exactly if it was just half wrapped, whole wrapped. I don't know. So when you got the gun, did you grab the gun with the towel? Trying to think about exactly. You're fine. Take your time. I understand the situation. At this point, investigators aren't making any accusations, but the towel is a curious detail. It has 2 holes, leaving officers to believe it was wrapped around the gun twice. It could have been used to conceal the gun, or muffle the sound, or to prevent fingerprints and gunshot residue analysis. Then again, that theory doesn't make much sense for a suicide. Another questionable piece of potential evidence isn't at the crime scene, but in Megha's curious behavior after investigators arrive. One of the original deputies, they're not here anymore, so I haven't talked to them, but I guess they told somebody else that you were doing some searches on your phone when they first got here. Do you remember what you were searching? Well, we were looking at couples counseling, Megha says. No. When the deputies were here, like when they actually got here and this whole thing was already going on. When I was sitting in here, I looked up hollow point bullets because I told the guy, I'm pretty sure I remember buying hollow point bullets. I looked it up because I was like, could that do anything? But that was when I was in this room. Okay. And you were looking at it for what? I just told him what they were, and I was like, I don't know what this means, because I was just really freaked out about, is she okay? Is she not okay? So I was trying to see, would that help? Hurt? What? At that moment, Alana is most definitely not okay. While doctors render life-saving aid to her in another room, police have one more question for Megha. Not about bullets or her relationship. They want to know about Suite 1409. It might sound weird, but when I know that that room only has one bed, so imagine this is that room. When you guys were sitting on the bed, who was closer to the window? She was, Megha says. Okay, because you said she was kind of in the middle, so you were on the left side? Uh-huh. Okay, do you know if... I know you said she has a sister. Do you know of any other family that she has? Her dad. And they're going to not be okay at all when they hear. That's when law enforcement has to make the devastating phone call to the Miccolis family. Charles's youngest daughter and Charlene's little sister, Alana, is on life support after being shot in the left temple, which they immediately flag as strange, because Alana is right-handed. Can you tell me how she's doing? Megha asks. Any updates at all? We have a deputy at the hospital right now. Last we heard, she was still alive, so just in critical. Normally with head injuries, they kind of wait and evaluate, because the brain can swell or stay the same. And if it swells, then that's a bad sign. So they have to kind of wait and evaluate. But at this time, last we heard, she was alive. Megha's voice trembles. I feel like that just doesn't mean anything to me. People are alive and then they're not all the time. I don't know. I just wish I had more information. So do investigators, because when they compile all the evidence, they can't help but wonder whether Megha's story, that she walked out of the bathroom to find her girlfriend with a gun to her head, is really true. There's a lot of data and phones and things like that. I'll ask you straight up. Did you shoot Alana? No. No? Oh my God. Okay. But I wouldn't do my job if I didn't ask you. No, that's just... It's okay. For now, Megha is free to leave the hospital, and it's for the best that she does, because Alana's dad and sister are already on their way. When they arrive, they learn the gravity of Alana's condition, and by 5:14 p.m. that evening, Alana is taken off life support and pronounced dead by physicians at the Orlando Regional Medical Center. The following day, the Orange County Medical Examiner performs an autopsy on the nearly 27-year-old. He determines that the shot that killed Alana was fired from intermediate range, not from contact range. In self-inflicted gunshot wounds, medical examiners expect to see that the barrel of the gun was held directly against the entry point of the bullet, but that wasn't the case for Alana's wound. Crime scene analysis failed to show any evidence of Alana's DNA on the gun safe or the gun, but it did show that Megha's DNA was on the safe. The handle of the gun and the trigger. The evidence was building. The timeline was suspicious. The forensics were damning. The 911 call was questionable. The towel was unexplained. The intermediate range gunshot was inconsistent with suicide. The lack of Alana's DNA on the weapon was troubling. The presence of Megha's DNA everywhere was condemning. Investigators began building their case. They reviewed the couple's text messages. They saw Megha's desperation, her obsession, her $10,000 offer, her refusal to let go, her promises to change, her contracts, her manipulation. They reviewed Alana's messages. They saw a woman who wanted out, who had finally found the courage to end things, who was excited about her future, who was going home to her dad. They reviewed the crime scene photos. They saw a room where someone had packed to leave, where clothes were folded, where phones were charged, where the bed was made, where everything suggested that Alana was ready to go home, except for the gun, wrapped in a towel, with 2 holes, and Megha's fingerprints. For months, Alana's family waited. They mourned. They grieved. They demanded justice. Her sister Charlene took to social media to share photos and videos of Alana, laughing, singing, living. She shared Alana's dreams of saving the coral reefs, of protecting the ocean, of making the world better. The Orange County Sheriff's Office continued their investigation. They collected evidence. They interviewed witnesses. They consulted with prosecutors. They built their case. And on May 22, 2024, the evidence pertaining to the death of Alana Miccolis was presented to a grand jury. The grand jury reviewed the autopsy report. They reviewed the forensic analysis. They reviewed the crime scene photos. They reviewed the 911 call. They reviewed Megha's interview with police. They reviewed the text messages. They reviewed the timeline. And the grand jury returned an indictment. Megha Saluja was indicted on first-degree murder with a firearm. On June 1, 2024, Megha Saluja was arrested. She was booked at the Duval County Jail, where she currently awaits criminal trial. When news of the arrest broke, Alana Miccolis took to social media once again. On December 8, 2023, my sister was taken from us forever. A grand jury indicted the person responsible, and she was arrested on June 1st, 2024. Now we wait for trial. We'd like to thank the Orange County Sheriff's Department for all of their efforts. Thank you everyone for continuing to respect our privacy. Thank you for praying for our family as we continue to navigate the impossible. Thank you for praying for justice. #Justice for Alana M. What happened in room 1409 of the Waldorf Astoria Orlando on December 8, 2023? The prosecution will argue that Megha Saluja, unable to let go of Alana, unable to accept that their relationship was truly over, brought a gun to what was supposed to be a final weekend together. They will argue that on the morning of December 8th, with checkout approaching, with Alana preparing to leave and start her new life, Megha made a decision. They will argue that Megha wrapped the gun in a towel, that she shot Alana in the left temple, from intermediate range, that she then called 911 and claimed it was a suicide. They will point to the forensic evidence. No contact gunshot wound. No DNA from Alana on the weapon. Megha's DNA on the safe, the gun, and the trigger. They will point to the timeline. 2 minutes in the bathroom isn't enough time for Alana to unlock a safe, retrieve a gun, wrap it in a towel, and shoot herself. They will point to Alana's character, a woman who was afraid of death, who had never expressed suicidal thoughts, who was excited about her future, who texted her dad that she'd be home early. They will point to Megha's behavior, searching hollow point bullets while Alana lay dying, telling police a story that didn't add up, wrapping the gun in a towel for reasons that made no sense for a suicide. The defense will have their own story. They will argue that this was a tragic suicide, that Alana was depressed, that the end of the relationship pushed her over the edge, that Megha is a victim too, traumatized by what she witnessed. But the evidence tells a different story, and a jury will decide which version to believe. Alana Miccolis was 26 years old when she died. She would have turned 27 just weeks later. She had her entire life ahead of her, a career she was passionate about, a family who loved her, a future filled with possibility. She dreamed of saving the coral reefs, of protecting the ocean, of making the world a better place. She volunteered at the Florida Aquarium. She worked in the coral conservation program. She studied coral spawning. She cleaned fragments under microscopes. She cared for staghorn coral. She researched ways to make coral more heat-resistant. Her work mattered. Her life mattered. Her dreams mattered. But on December 8th, 2023, all of that was taken away. The family of Alana Miccolis is open on social media about their unwavering love for her. They have requested privacy while they grieve Alana and prepare for the upcoming trial. They do not plan to speak publicly on Alana's death until after the trial concludes. We are honoring their wishes, and we will continue to follow this story. This case raises so many questions about toxic relationships, about control, about obsession, about what happens when someone can't let go. Megha Saluja sent text after text begging Alana not to date anyone else. She offered $10,000 to keep Alana in her life. She proposed contracts and counseling sessions. She planned a final trip together. She brought a gun. And when Alana finally, definitively, ended their relationship that morning in room 1409, what happened next? Did Megha accept it? Did she let Alana pack her bags and leave? Did she watch as Alana walked out of her life forever? Or did she make a different choice? The evidence suggests she did. The intermediate-range gunshot wound, the lack of Alana's DNA on the weapon, the presence of Megha's DNA everywhere, the towel with 2 holes, the timeline that doesn't add up, the behavior that raised red flags, all of it points to one conclusion, that Alana Miccolis did not take her own life, that someone else did, that Megha Saluja, unable to let go, unable to accept the end, made a decision that cost Alana everything. The trial has not yet begun. Megha Saluja sits in jail awaiting her day in court. The Miccolis family waits for justice, for answers, for closure. They will never get Alana back. They will never hear her laugh again. They will never watch her work with coral. They will never see her achieve her dreams of saving the ocean. But they can get justice. They can make sure that whoever took Alana from them is held accountable. They can make sure that Alana's story is told, that her life is remembered, that her death is not in vain. This is the story of Alana Miccolis, a bright light extinguished far too soon, a marine biologist with dreams of saving the world, a daughter, a sister, a friend, a woman who loved the ocean, music, and everyone she met. And this is the story of Megha Saluja, a woman accused of taking that light away, a woman who couldn't let go, a woman who now faces first-degree murder charges. The truth of what happened in room 1409 will come out at trial. The evidence will be presented, the witnesses will testify, the jury will deliberate, and justice, hopefully, will be served. Rest in peace, Alana Miccolis. You deserved so much more than this. Your family loves you. Your friends miss you. The ocean you hope to save will remember you. And we will continue to follow your story until justice is done. If you or someone you know is in a toxic or controlling relationship, please reach out for help. The National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-7-997-233. You are not alone. If you are struggling with thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 988. There is help. There is hope. Your life matters. Alana's story is a reminder that toxic relationships can be dangerous, that control can escalate, that obsession can turn deadly. If someone in your life refuses to let you go, if they beg and plead and offer money to keep you around, if they make you feel trapped, please get help. You deserve to be free. You deserve to be safe. You deserve to live your life on your terms. Alana deserved that too, and it was taken from her. May her story save someone else. May her memory inspire change. May her dreams of saving the ocean live on through those who continue her work. Rest in peace, Alana Jean Miccolis. Justice is coming.